waiting sure got my bloodlust up.
Alright guys, welcome back to every DBZ fight that you can recreate with SH Figuarts. Today, we're continuing with part 2 of the Saiyan Saga. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, I definitely recommend watching that first, so you have full context on the rules for this checklist, what fights we already covered, and so on. I plan to cover all of DBZ, so this will take some time. If you're interested in seeing this whole series, be sure to subscribe and do all the other YouTube stuff like commenting and sharing this with other collectors. Before we continue, I want to thank Havoc2009 for clarifying why I was confused about Raditz's manga colors. They said, "Good video, but about Raditz's colors, you're mixing up the original manga colors with the digitally recolored Shueisha edition from 2013. The SDCC figure is based on the original manga colors, while the reference in your video comes from the 2013 full color manga, which uses a mix of anime colors and some choices made by Shueisha themselves. And about Gohan's bandana, it actually falls off during the fight against Nappa, and by the time Piccolo sacrifices himself, Gohan is already without it. Of course, the second part of that comment I did mention in the video. I'm guessing they might have commented before they saw that part of the video. But anyways, thanks for clarifying the manga stuff. With that out of the way, let's begin. The next fight is Nappa versus the Z Fighters. That includes Piccolo, Gohan, Krillin, Tien, and Chaozu. Not Yamcha. Remember, he already got murked by a Cyberman at this point. For the Z Fighters, all the figures we mentioned before would obviously still work here. Proud Namekian Piccolo, Goku's old friend Krillin, Kid Era Gohan, 2017 Tien, 2021 Chaozu, as well as the SDCC 2021 Nappa. But remember, the Kid Era Gohan figure is missing his white headband, so that isn't 100% accurate. Now I will say that I kind of forgot just how brutal this fight was. Nappa literally punching Tien's hand off was pretty intense and actually made me cringe a bit. And from what I've heard, the DBZ manga is even more brutal than the anime, so Toriyama was not holding back. Unlike Piccolo, which includes an injured arm accessory, Tien's figure isn't designed to have his hand injured, so you can't technically recreate when Nappa punches his hand off. You can, however, recreate when Chaozu sacrificed himself against Nappa using the statue from the 2017 Tien figure.
Chaozu! Chaozu! That kinda tickled.
Naturally, a brutal fight results in battle damage, but unfortunately none of the Z Fighters, unless you count Piccolo's arm, have battle damaged figures, so you can't get 100% accuracy there. As for Nappa, he first gets some battle damage after Tien's Tri-Beam, but there is no SHF figure depicting this look.
Tri-Beam! You think you're pretty tough, don't you?
The next visual change for Nappa happens after the 3-hour break that Vegeta gives Piccolo, Gohan, and Krillin to give Goku time to arrive. Nappa completely removes his armor to don his infamous "It's over 9,000" look. And once again, there is no official SHF of this look for Nappa. Now some newer collectors might not know this, but years ago, Tamashii actually showed a prototype of this Nappa. And honestly, I think it looks pretty good. Hopefully they release it someday, or some third-party company does, because I'd love to animate "It's over 9,000. Not "It's over 8,000. I know 8,000 is accurate, but 9,000 is nostalgic for me because of the Ocean dub.
It's over 9,000! What, 9,000?
Anyways, since we don't have this look for Nappa, none of the fight from this point on can be accurately recreated with SH Figuarts. Piccolo's sacrifice, Goku versus Nappa, Vegeta ending Nappa, all of these moments have to be skipped. This is a huge missing part of the SH Figuarts line.
This spot should do. From what I can tell, there's no people or animals nearby.
Interesting. Of all the places on your planet, you chose this as your grave site.
So if we jump to episode 13, the next fight you can recreate with SH Figuarts is Goku vs Vegeta. At least the first part. Things start to go downhill fast, but we'll cover that when we get there. I actually made a stop motion of this fight a while ago, so give that a look if you haven't already. At the time when I made it though, Saiyan Raised on Earth was the most accurate Goku available, but now you can use Lowest Born Saiyan Goku. It's actually based on this fight since it has the Kinkai symbol on Goku's back. As for Vegeta, the 2017 Saiyan Saga Vegeta is still the best option available.
Now show me. Come on, have you used all that strength you've been hiding? Kaioken!
Now when Goku uses the Kaioken, the most accurate figures are actually 1.0s. That would be the SDCC 2017 Kaioken Goku and the 2017 Kaioken Lottery Goku. Both of these figures depict how Goku looked when he used the Kaioken against Vegeta. Thanks to Rockchala for having a 360-degree image of the lottery one on his website, which allowed me to see what the back of the figure looked like, cause finding images of that one was a bit challenging. So back to Goku vs Vegeta. Later in the fight, Goku's shirt is destroyed, creating the famous look he had in the Kamehameha vs Gallic Gun beam struggle, the most epic DBZ moment in my opinion, specifically the Ocean Dub version.
Let's see what you've got, Kakarot! Gallic Gun, fire!
This is pretty much how Goku will look for the rest of this fight. Unfortunately though, if you want an accurate SHF figure depicting this look for Goku, you'll have to kit bash. I think the most accurate parts would be the head sculpt, belt, and legs from Lowest Born Saiyan, with the upper body and damaged shirt piece from the Ultra Instinct Goku figure. Just note that it isn't actually possible to kit bash a battle damaged Kaioken Goku with official figures, since there is no battle damaged Kaioken Goku. That doesn't matter if you're okay with just recoloring Goku in a photo or video editor like I would, but it does matter if you want a physically red Kaioken Goku figure. This kit bash will also be a bit skinny compared to how buff Goku was at this point. If you attempt kit bashing, be careful. Sometimes SHF figures come apart easily.
Yeah, for some inexplicable reason.
But other times, they don't. Kit bash at your own risk. If you're too chicken to make this kit bash and risk breaking your rare Lowest Born Saiyan Goku, like I am, then there is no official option for you. Aww. You could theoretically use the legs from the less sought after Saiyan Raised on Earth, but the boots wouldn't be completely accurate since the red rope parts would have ties, whereas in the Saiyan Saga, they didn't. So yeah, the most accurate and most dangerous option is kit bashing.
No!
After the epic beam struggle, Vegeta was salty that Goku won, so he did what any rational person in this situation would do and decided to turn into a giant ape. I mean, what else was he gonna do? Not turn into a giant ape, you know? Let's be serious. But before he turns into a giant ape, we see him battle damaged. Unfortunately, this is where our checklist takes another nosedive. There is no figure to depict this look accurately. You could use the 24,000 power level Vegeta since the armor is similar with the waist pieces gone, but that figure has no tail. As for the giant ape thing, you have two options. The 2020 Great Ape Vegeta and the SDCC 2025 Great Ape Vegeta. Bandai cheaped out on the SDCC version, so it has a lot less accessories. Apart from that, the colors seem to be a bit more vibrant. I do prefer the colors of the new one, but the accessories of the original are really good for recreating Vegeta's fight with Goku. Both versions include a faceplate with Vegeta's injured eye from when Goku blasted him and a severed tail accessory. The original, not the SDCC version, includes Vegeta's hands squeezing the life out of a miniature Goku and a miniature Yajirobe statue. You know how I feel about these statues. I would much rather get an actual Yajirobe figure. The best thing we have right now is the Irwin toy one from years ago, and the articulation is horrible. But why do you even need Yajirobe anyway? Well, once Vegeta turned into a great ape and started laying the smackdown on Goku, Gohan and Krillin decided to go help him out. After Krillin failed to cut Vegeta's tail off with his Destructo Disc, Yajirobe, seemingly out of nowhere, actually succeeded in cutting his tail off, causing him to return to his normal form.
He's all yours, guys!
This is where the severed tail accessory comes in. I will say it's pretty hilarious how salty Vegeta is about Yajirobe cutting his tail off. He took it very personally.
Alright, here's the order I choose. I'll start off with Kakarot, followed by his whiny little brat. Then I believe the bald one. And last but not least, the fat one who chopped off my tail. For him, I'll set aside something really gruesome. He remembers who I am!
Goku also uses the Kaioken against Great Ape Vegeta, and as we mentioned before, there is no official figure or kit bash for that.
You're about to suffer in ways you can't even fathom!
What are we supposed to do now? I don't think we planned this far ahead!
Now, the last fight of the Saiyan Saga is basically Gohan, Krillin, and Yajirobe versus Vegeta. Yes, I threw Yajirobe in there because he actually makes minced meat of Vegeta's back. And he's the one who cuts his tail off, so I think he deserves some credit. Sadly though, you can't really recreate this fight, not only because of Vegeta and Yajirobe, which we already covered, but also because there's no Great Ape Gohan figure. There is a Mexican bootleg, which doesn't look half bad, but when I looked at it on eBay, it said I'd have to pay tariffs, so I'm not risking it because it's already expensive as it is. Also, Gohan's tail grows back, which is the reason he becomes a Great Ape in the first place, but the Kid era Gohan figure has no tail. Of course, Vegeta then cuts his tail off in midair with what looks like a Destructo Disc, and this fight basically ends with Great Ape Gohan collapsing on top of Vegeta, leaving your boy in pretty bad shape.
What? I can't move!
Yes!
After surviving a spirit bomb, having Yajirobe cut his tail off and slice him up, and being crushed by a giant ape, I mean, man, Vegeta really took a beating here. But to be fair, I think every bone in Goku's body is broken. Goku is so murked that he has to speak telepathically because his mouth is too wrecked to speak loudly enough. At least Vegeta can crawl, you know? Anyways, your boy Vegeta isn't looking too good. He has tomato sauce all over his face, his armor's hanging on for dear life, and he literally has to crawl to his spaceship. Of course, there is no SHF Saiyan space pod, but there is a figurized one that kinda works. Krillin wants to finish Vegeta off with Yajirobe's sword, an accessory that also doesn't exist in the SHF line by the way, but Goku convinces him to spare Vegeta's life.
Well, it's about time for me to make my exit. But this isn't over, not by a long shot. And there won't be a miracle to save you next time. That I can personally guarantee.
Vegeta flies away, and they all live happily ever after. Until they go to a planet with slug people and a psychopathic emperor who Toriyama designed based on his nightmares. But we'll start the Namek saga in the next video. Subscribe so you can join us for the next installment of this series, and let me know which of the missing figures or accessories you want to be made the most. For me, it's probably Great Ape Gohan. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.